Hello everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. So today we'll learn one of the core topic of microprocessor, that is assembler directive. So before we discussing technically, let's know the meaning of a directive. In first slide, you people are seeing that shooting is going on and director is giving the directions to its hero and heroine. So here we'll correlate this scenario with are assembler and assembler directive. Now we have to identify that which are the assemblers and who is the assembler directive. As we are seeing that direction is basically given by the director to hero and heroine. Now what director will indicates? Now director will act as a assembler or assembler directives. As we are seeing that directions are delivered by the director, so our director will act as a assembler directive. But our what our hero and heroine will indicates, it will act as a assembler. So a final scenario, we can see that we are correlating our problem with a movie scene. So this director will act as our assembler directive and our hero and heroine will be a assembler. So let's discuss the difference between instructions and directive in assembly language. As we have studied the various types of instructions, arithmetic instructions, logical instructions, data transfer instructions, that is move, and in logical instructions and or, and in arithmetic, that is and, subtraction, add, subtraction, multiplication in 86. So these are the assembly level instructions, but there is a lot of difference between instructions and directives. Now if uh, without going technically, if broadly we are discussing the difference between directive and instruction, so directive is mainly an order usually issued by an authority. We can take example that we are establishing any policy or we are assigning responsibilities to someone. So these all comes under the category of directions. So if on the other hand we talk about the instructions, instructions act as a guidelines. They often appear as a series of steps or stages one must complete one after the other. So we can take example in case of instruction, like we are giving the instructions how to cook some recipe. So this is a this comes under the category of instruction. We can also take example of COVID-19, hot topic of these days. So recently, the World Health Organization has issued a directive for the world to prepare for an outbreak of COVID-19. So this will act as a directive. On the other hand, it also provides the instructions on how the local can be better prepared for the said outbreak and how to manage the outbreak. So these are the instructions issued by the WHO. Now come to the actual definition of assembler directives. So before discussing the actual definition of assembler directive, let's discuss the complete scenario, uh, how our main program executes. First of all, we are writing our line of code in editor. So in editor, we are generating the .asm file, and this, for example, the name of file is abc. So abc.asm is our assembly file which we have generated from editor. After that, we will input this file to our assembler. Now what our assembler will do? Assembler will convert our assembly file into the object file. Now what this object file contain? It is a combination of 1 and 0. So it is a binary file. Can we execute this object file? No. Why? Because we don't know where to relocate this object file, because we don't have the address of that object file. So for that, we have to give this file to linker and locator module. Now what linker and locator module will do? Linker basically used to link the various object file. If we are having more than one object file, then we are linking that all the object files into a one combined file. Now what locator will do? Locator will perform the crucial function. That crucial function is that if basically to assigning the memory location to object file, to where to locate that file. After passing through the linker and locator module, it will convert it into the .exe file. So that is executable file. So here we can generate the abc.exe file that can be used as a executable program. So let's come back to the PPT. What is assembler directive? Assembler directives, also known as the pseudo instructions, in which instructions to the assembler are given regarding the program being executed. The main point to be noted is that no machine code are generated for the assembler directives, whereas machine code is generated for the assembly language or assembly level instructions, which we have already discussed, like data transfer instructions, arithmetic instructions. But for assembler directives, no machine code is generated. It controls the generation of the machine code and organization of the program. So in the basic terms, we can say that a directive controls the generation of machine code and organization of the program. Now let's discuss the various tasks to be performed by the assembler directives. Now various tasks, the first task is to specify the start and end of the segment, procedure or a program. The main significance is to reserve appropriate space for the data storage. Second task is that it directs the assembler to perform some special task. Third is to attach some values to the variables. We will discuss in assembler directive examples. Fourth one is to allocate the storage location to input output data. And last is define start and end of segments, procedures and macros. Now various types of assembler directives. These are the various types. First one is data definition and storage allocation directive. Second is program organization directive. Third one is alignment directive. Fourth one is program and directive. Fifth one is value returning attribute directives, procedure definition directives, macro definition directives, and data control directives. So let's discuss one by one. First of all, we will discuss the data definition and storage allocation directive. So this directive is used to define the program variable and allocate a specified amount of memory to them. Let's use the whiteboard. So sorry for bad handwriting. So here we'll discuss various types of data definition and storage allocations. So first of all, I would like to tell you that we are having various types of storage, like byte. Second one is word. Third one is double word. Fourth one is quad word. And fifth one is 10 byte. Now if we'll talk in terms of bytes, it will take 1 byte, it will take 2, DW will take 4 byte, QW will take 8 byte, 10 byte will take 10 byte. If we'll talk in terms of bits, 8 bits, 16 bits, 32 bits, 64 bits, 80 bits. So these are the terms used for data definition and storage allocation directives. So for define byte, the keyword used is DB. For word, DW. For define double word, that is DD. So here you can correct, that is double word, right? For defining quad word, the term written is DQ, and for defining 10 bytes, that is DT. So these are the keywords used for the data definition and storage allocation directives. Now let's discuss the example. First example is NDB42H. Now what it indicates? It allocates 1 byte memory location to n variable, and that n variable will store the 42H as a data. So what it means, the 42H will be stored in n variable and 1 byte will be allocated to the n variable. So that 1 byte will ultimately contain the 42H as a data. Now if I'll take another scenario, that is N1 DB 12H, 22H. H basically denotes the hexadecimal number. So what here it will perform? Here it will allocate the 2 bytes to, first byte will be allocated to 12H, second byte will be allocated to 22H. So but the first memory location will be allocated to the variable N1. That N1 will store 12H. The consecutive next memory location will store 22H. This term we will also discuss later in a complete example which will contain all the directives. Third one is N23DB question mark. Now what this question mark indicates? This question mark indicates that we are reserving 1 byte for future purposes. For example, we are performing the addition of two numbers. Let it be X and Y. So we want to store that result in some memory location. So in future, first of all, only we are reserving that byte for storing our result by putting the question mark. This question mark indicates to reserve 1 byte memory location. Now next instruction is NDW3456H. Now what it indicates? 3456H. This is a word that is 16-bit number, means 2 memory locations we have to allocate. For example, this is our memory location 000H, 008H. So 3456H. First of all, lower byte will be stored, then higher byte will be stored. As we know, we are following the little endian format. So 56 will be stored at the lower memory location. After that, incrementing, we will store the next memory location. The point to be noted is that all these things, N1, N, N2, 3, N are the variables. Clear? So similarly, if we have to give the memory location, more memory location, then we can use the 10 bytes or DQ or define double word as per the requirement. Next directive is segment. Now it comes into the category of program organization directive. In program organization directive, we have to allocate the various segments. As we know, 886 basically contains how much segments? It contains 4 segments. Which can you name them? These are data segment, extra segment, stack segment, code segment, right? So before discussing the segment, first I would like to discuss the assume. This is also a directive which comes under the category of program organization directive. So what assume perform? Assume directive is used to tell the assembler that the name of the logical segment it should use for the specified segment. So for example, assume CS colon code. Now it tells the assembler that we can use CODE in terms of CS. Actual terms are these: DS, ES, SS, and CS. Now we want to use COD in place of CS. So it tells the assembler that we can use code instead of CS. So the 886 program may have several logical segments, but at the time of 886 we work directly with only 4 physical segments, which we have discussed. Now afterwards we are writing code segment. It's all right. Code segment. So we can write that as code. So this is our code segment, and afterwards code ends. That will be in capital. So this and this both are the directives comes under the category of program organization directive. This segment directive is used to indicate the start of a logical segment. Preceding the segment directive, this is the segment directive. Preceding that segment directive is code. That is the name you want to give that segment, right? Now what does ends do? This is used with the name of the segment to indicate the end of the logical segment. So here we are indicating that the segment which is we have started code, we are ending that segment. Clear? Similarly, we can start data segment and data ends. Clear? Now next is alignment directives. In alignment directives, first directive is even. Now what does this directive performs? It performs the alignment of a memory address. It aligns as a even memory address. Now you have to remember the concept of even and odd banking. If you don't know that concept, please explore that concept. So because this assembly directive depends upon that concept, that is, I'll tell you the little bit about odd banking and even banking. As we know that 886 microprocessor contains 16 bits, and each page is of 8 bits. Each memory location of is of 8 bits. So to study the complete execution cycle, like I want to tell you that this is our book. This is page number 01. Next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? This will contain 8 bit. This will contain 8 bit. If our numbering will be started from even memory location, then it will, as we know, 886 is of 16-bit microprocessor, so it can read 16 bits in one cycle. So if we'll start from the even memory locations, it will read the 16 bit in one memory cycle. Otherwise, if we'll start from the odd, it will read only 8 bits, other 8 bits will be wasted. So that's why even is used to align a even memory address. This directive is used to inform the assembler to increment the location counter to the next even memory address if it is not pointing to the even memory location already. Otherwise, it automatically jump to the next even memory location one. Clear? So in this, we have to just write the keyword even before the instructions. Clear? Next alignment directive is ORG. Now ORG indicates originate. So this directive assigns the location counter with the value specified in the directive. As it doesn't allocate any memory location, it just assigns the value to the it helps in placing the machine code in specified location while translating the instruction into machine code by the assembler. For example, org 2 3 4 2. Now what it indicates, this statement informs the assembler to initialize the location counter to start from 2342 H memory location. Clear? I'll also give you example. For example, these are some instructions. These instructions, the last one line is executed at 2025H. After that, command execute org 2342H. After that, next instructions cut it by A, B, C. When the turn of ABC will come to execute, then it will start from 2342H. Why? Because of originate alignment directive. Clear? Now, next is value returning attribute directives. In value returning attributes, two directives come under this category, that is length and size. So let me write one common example. Move ax comma length items. So here we are going to start a segment, that is data segment items. This is the same variable which we have defined, items db 02h comma 15h data ends. Now what this instruction will do, it will allocate 2 bytes to items which will store first at 02h, after that it will store 15h. Now we have to return the length. Now what length attribute do? The length informs the assembler about the number of elements in a data item. I'll replace this now. The first of all, I'll discuss the outcome of this program. When we will execute this, what it will do, in this example, the number of elements assigned as a array are 2. So 2 is the length of the item which will be stored into the EX. Now see, if I replace this length with size, and here we are doing DW define word 2342 H comma 1234 H. Now what will size do? The directive size is same as length, except that it returns the number of bytes allocated to the data items instead of the number of elements in it. So here we can say that how many bytes it contains. So we can see that 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will return the 4 value. But if we'll execute length in this instruction, now length will give the output 2. Why? Because it will return the, if it contains db, then it will return the number of bytes. If it contains w, then it will return the number of words. So In case of length, output will be 2. In case of size, the output will be 4. Next one is offset. Now, the directive offset informs the assembler to determine the displacement of the specified variable with respect to the base of the data set. So, for example, N1 dB 23H. So, for example, this is our data segment started from 00H. So, what this instruction will do? It will allocate 1 byte to N1 and 1 byte to N1, and N1 will store the 23H. So, for example, 23, our directive has allocated 23 here. Okay. So, in command, we have to write that N1, move dx, comma, offset N1. Now, what it will do, it will automatically find the offset value, or we can say displacement value, with respect to the base value of the data segment, right? And that value will be, for example, that value is 20, and that 20 will be transferred to dx. So 20 is the displacement. For example, this 23H is stored from 000H at 0020H. 0020H. So that 20 displacement will automatically go to dx. Right? Next directive is procedure definition directive. So here I am taking example Fibonacci PROC procedure near. Then this is our program. After that, return Fibonacci and P. So in procedure definition directive, it contains two directives. One is PROC, second one is ENDP. So PROC means procedure, used to identify the start of a procedure and follow the name you give to the procedure. As we say, it follows the Fibonacci. So we are defining the Fibonacci with PROC keyword. So this is the procedure we are defining here. Now what does near means? There are two directives we can use combined with near or for. For near or for, you should know that the concept of intersegment and intra-segment domain. So that comes under the assembly level instructions. Like if we have to perform intersegment, then intersegment means like we are having 4 segments: data segment, extra segment, port segment, stack segment. So if we are sending some data from data segment to extra segment, so this is a intersegment. It will come under the category for. If we are transferring within the segment, like data segment, and we are transferring something within the segment only, or performing some operation within the segment only, that is near. Right? So this is procedure. And similarly, what NP will do, this is used along with the name of the procedure, that is Fibonacci, to indicate the end of the procedure to the assembler. Clear? So next is macro. So macro also contains three directives. First one is macro, second is andem, and third one is EQU. So for example, first of all, you might be knowing that what is macro. You have already studied in C++. Macro is a group of instructions that we are giving a one name at the start of our program. Each time we call the macro in our program, then assembler insert the defined group of instruction in place of that call, right? So what is the syntax? Like we are defining the macro with the name ABC. So this is our macro name, that is ABC, with the keyword macro. So here we can write our code. After that, while ending the macro, we will define the endem. This will indicate the end of the macro to the assembler. Third one is EQU. So this is equate. Equate is used to give a name to some value or a symbol. Each time the assembler finds the given name in the program, it will replace the name with the value or symbol equated with that name. For example, N2 EQU 14H. Now, wherever it will find the N2 will be replaced with 14H, because 14H is assigned to the N2 variable, right? Uh, Last is branch displacement directive. In branch displacement directive, there is label. We will discuss one or two example at the end, and that you will be clear that what do you mean by label. Let's discuss some examples. First of all, we have to write a program in several directives. So here is our program. We'll also take the memory locations where we have to put the value. So here we can see that these things, that is dolphin 1, dolphin 2, shark 1, shark 2, these all are the labels which we have already discussed in main directives. So in first instruction we are saying that over the 0000H. Now what it indicates? All the next instruction is going to execute from 0000H. So that is the first address from where we have to start our execution. So first of all, DB 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now everything which is written in single quote, that indicates it is it act as a string. So string we are representing in the sky value, that is by embedding the three value. So that is 31, 32. So each byte will be allocated to each number. So first of all, sorry, each alphabet. So that one will be written, the sky value of that one will be, that is 31. Sorry, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Now this is dolphin 1. After that, dolphin 2. Now in dolphin 2, there is DW. Now what does DW means? It is defined word. Now what word will define? It will allocate the 16-bit data. Now 16-bit data is 6667H. Now in this, first we have to input 67 or 66. As we know, we are following the convention of little endian. So first we will put the 67th, that is lower byte, after that higher byte. So here 67, afterwards 66. Now shark 1. In shark 1, DB1, 2, 3. So there are three numbers. So each byte will be allocated to each number. So here 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. After that, DBA, the SKY code of small a is that is 61. So here we will allocate one byte to A. After that, the next number is in binary form, that is 11110000. So which we can say in hexadecimal, that is F0. So for this also we have to allocate one byte, that is F0. After that, DW1213. Now here you have to note that the numbers are 12 and 30, which is a 8-bit number, but we have to define a word for that. So how we will write it? So 12 and 13 is in decimal form. So first we have to convert it into the hexadecimal number. So 12 will be our 0C. So but we have to allocate a 2 word. So for 12, 12 is C. So we have to make this number into a word. So yet three locations are left to fill on the word location. So here we will put 0, 0, 0. So this is one word. So first of all, as per little endian format, we have to put the lower byte, then higher byte. So here 0C, 0, 0. Right. After that, 13 is D, 0, 0, 0. Similarly, so here it will come 0D and 0, 0. Clear? After that, 2, 3, 4, 5 H. So 2, 3, 4, 5 H word, first lower byte 45, after that 23. Next is DD. This is we have to reserve, define. So next is DD, that is DD300H. So this is defined double word. So in defined double word, we have to allocate 4 byte memory locations. So first of all, we will fill 00, then 03. Again, 4 bytes we have to reserve for DD. So 0000. So now afterwards, there is a instruction DB9DUPFFH. Now, what DUP indicates? It indicates that we have to fill the value at 9 location, like replicate the FFH duplicate values at 9 locations. So from 17 onwards, we have to fill the FF at 9 memory locations. So this is an example of how sample directive works. Now let's take one more example. So this is our sample directive program. So let's take memory locations also. So first of all, what first instruction says, that is ORG0010H. So we have to start our execution from 0010H. Next instruction is count EQU32H. As we know, EQ does not allocate any memory location, but it assigns the value, that is 32H, to count variable. Next value is val1 EQU0030H. It will assign the 0030H to val1 variable. Afterwards, DAT1. So DAT1 is a label. So here I'll write DAT1. DAT1 DB. Now it will allocate 1 byte to each number. So what it will do? First of all, 45H. Then first of all I will write 45. After that, 67. 1 byte allocated to 67. Then 100. So 100 is a decimal that we have to convert it into the hexadecimal number. The hexadecimal number of 100 is 64. Right? After that, capital A. The sky number of sky code of capital A is 41. So here I'll write 41. Now WRD. Next label is WRD. So here I'll write WRD, which will execute from 0014H. So here first one is 10H. So but we have to give 16-bit number. So first 10, then 00. This makes the 16-bit number. Clear? Afterwards 3500H, lower byte 00, higher byte 35. 0910H, lower byte 10, higher byte 09. 09. Clear? After that, DAT2. So here I'll write DAT2. This is next label. Now here we have to define double word, that is 0902H. So 0902H we will write, this is our DAT2, and we have to define a double word. So first of all I'll write the lower byte, that is 02. After that 09, higher byte, and we have to define double word. So 2 more byte we have to allocate. So 0000. After that DAT3. Now what DAT3 will do here? Define word to DUP0. As we have already discussed that DUP indicates the duplicate value. So we have to make the duplicate of 0 at 2 different word memory locations. So at 4 memory locations we have to put 000, because word contain 2 byte. So 0000, it will make one word, and second word 0000. This is our second word, right? After that, instruction came ORG-VAL1. Now we have already studied that when ORG instruction come, then we have to navigate to that instructions which will proceed to ORG. Now VL1, as we see, VL1 equate 0030H. So we have to now start executing our next instruction from 0030H onwards. So our next execution instruction will be 0030H. Clear? Now at 0030H, what is the label? So the label written is DAT4. So here I will write DAT4, and DAT4 define word. In define word, in DAT4, that is DB56H. So here I'll allocate 56. After that, again org VL2. Now VL2 will see VL2 is 32H. So now we have to switch to the 32 hexadecimal memory location. So that is 0032H. So we will leave the 0031 memory location. 0032 our label is RES. So here I will write RES. In here we have to put question mark. Now what this question mark indicates? In the beginning of lecture we have studied that this question mark basically reserved the memory locations. So we have to put the 10 duplicate values, right? So in 10 duplicate values, now here it is missing, just here it will be DB. Okay, so 10 byte will be reserved, so we have to reserve the 10 memory location reserved. So we'll cross this 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, right? After that, DWRD, this is the next label, so I'll write here DWRD. In DWRD we have to define double word, so we have to reserve the 4 memory locations. So here it is 01 02 03 04. So as per Little Endian format, here 04, then 03 02 01. This is how our assembler directive works. So that's all. If you are having any query, you can drop a mail at harpi.s@harpi.edu. Thanks and have a nice day.